Let's go back now to Washington on Capitol Hill. Republican senators, they are looking to advance their budget resolution this week. Voting could kick off on Thursday, but first they are waiting on a critical ruling regarding their tax plan. Let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, happy Monday to you. Can you walk us through this and talk about the GOP strategy for tax cuts? What's this accounting tactic that senators are hoping to get greenlit?
Yeah, it's great to be with you. Let's backtrack a little bit. Remember, several weeks ago, the House passed a budget resolution, essentially a framework to get through the president's legislative agenda. That has to be melded together with the Senate plan. They passed a separate measure, and so that's kind of what we're talking about here. So nothing has passed entirely through Congress onto the president's desk to be able to sign it and then get to work on crafting the policy around his agenda. What happens this week is going to be the biggest kind of first step in that initiative. And what's really the big sticking point, or what we're focusing on this week, is whether or not they can implement permanent tax cuts, permanent Trump tax cuts, making those tax cuts that were implemented in 2017 permanent. This is something the president has been adamant that he wants to do. It's something included in the Senate framework, but not in the House framework. So there are a lot of rules up here on Capitol Hill. There's a lot of Senate procedure. We won't get too bogged down into the weeds of it, but basically there is a rule that requires any sort of extension of this tax cut to be paid for somehow. So they're trying to work through the rules to figure out how they could move forward on this, and we're expecting a vote this week. Remember, the Senate really wants, Congress really wants to get moving on the president's agenda. There's a lot that he's been able to do through the executive powers that he has, and he's really sidestepped Congress in a lot of ways. But here is really where a lot of his policies could be enacted into actual law. There are going to be a lot of sticking points, but this is the first hurdle.
And Caitlin, I also want to ask you about this because the Senate has already passed a bill to prevent massive cuts to D.C.'s local budget. But has it not cleared the House just yet? What is the latest there?
Yes, it has it. If you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about the government shutdown, a separate budget-related measure, in that original bill was a cut to funding for D.C., about $1 billion in cuts to D.C. that officials here in the district say would have made cuts to police, security, and public school funding, among other things. The Senate moved quickly to be able to fix that, and now that has to go over to the House to pass first before it can get to the president's desk. Now, here's the important point, is that President Trump has said that he wants this to be remedied. He wants this to be fixed. So he's putting the pressure on House Republicans to get something done this week.
And Caitlin, a lot of eyes are on Florida this week. Special elections are underway where 2 House seats are up for grabs. Are we expecting Republicans to hold on to those seats? I mean, this is Florida after all.
It is Florida after all, and these seats are comfortable Republican margins. However, there has been a lot of spending in this race and a lot of money raised by one of the Democrats in this race. There are 2 races that we're watching. One of the Democrats and one of them outraised the Republicans, so that has caused a lot of focus on this. But the bigger picture here, Mugo, is that these 2 seats are so critical to House Republicans and their majority. Remember, they just have a razor-thin majority in the House, and in order to pass all of those legislative items we were just talking about, they need to preserve their House majority. They can't afford to lose any more seats. And what's significant is last week we saw that the president's pick to be UN ambassador, Elise Stefanik, her nomination was pulled because she's a current House member and they need her votes in the House to be able to vote on the president's agenda. So that's how thin the margins are here, and that's why there was so much focus on these 2 special elections. Just going back, Mike Waltz, the president's national security advisor, was a congressman from Florida. This is his seat. He was pulled to serve in the administration, and also the seat that used to belong to Matt Gaetz, who was nominated originally to be the president's attorney general. He resigned his seat from Congress. Of course, his nomination was scrapped as well. But those are the 2 seats that we are talking about. The reason that this is such a delicate situation is because the president has picked House members to serve in his cabinet, and now those seats have to be filled.
All right, we shall wait and see what happens. Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you so much for your time today.